everyone, welcome back to day 2 of your English class, English improvement and English speaking fluency. And we are going to do that through reading. So I recommend, if you haven't seen the day 1, you go and watch it first and then come back for this lesson. Because we are reading this novel, and in each day, each lesson, I take one chapter. Nonetheless, you can still watch it. It's not like you will not be able to learn the English that we are targeting, but the thing is that you might not understand the story. So let's begin today's session. I am your Cambridge CELTA certified English language tutor Shivangi Gupta, and today we are going to target reading plus vocabulary. I know vocabulary is one of the problem areas for almost everybody, and you people ask me a lot of times, ma'am, how to improve my vocabulary? So you will improve your vocabulary today here with me in this lesson live through this story. Are you excited? So let's begin. Now there are some steps that you need to keep in mind. What you need to keep in mind is, when I'm reading this story, I recommend do not pause the video in order to find the meaning of a word. I'm going to read the whole story, the whole chapter number 2 today, once. Listen to it carefully. When you're not able to understand the meaning, that's okay. Let it go, let the word go and continue listening to the story, because what I'm going to do is, I'm going to come back again. I have already selected almost all the words that can give you problem. I'm going to come back and I'm going to read the paragraphs with those difficult words while explaining the meaning to you. So you don't have to worry about it. Listen to the complete story first. It is going to help you a lot when you're going to learn the meaning of the words. Believe me. Are you excited? Let's begin then. We are reading 20,000 Leagues Under the Sea, and today we are beginning with chapter number 2. Chapter number 2, The Hunt for Nawal. Commander Farragut was quite hopeful that the warship would be able to come across the terrifying creature and kill it. He was proud of his fastest moving warship that was well equipped with every kind of weapon. It was the best warship in the US Navy. His crew members were excited and trustworthy. Among the crew members was Ned Land, the best harpooners in the world. Ned was a courageous and skilled harpooner. He had an extraordinary sight and could see things from a great distance. He was a man of great strength. He was ever ready to fight. He was from Canada and had been invited by the president himself to go on this mission. His inclusion in the crew of the Abraham Lincoln was of great value. Ned and I became great friends. He and I sat and talked about our mission for hours at length. Ned, however, did not think that a creature like Nawal could exist. He never spoke about it. One day I asked him, "Why don't you believe that such a creature like Nawal can exist? You are well acquainted with marine life, and you know that there are large creatures in the seas and oceans." Ned replied, "Professor, ordinary people can believe in the existence of such a creature. But as far as my knowledge goes, I don't think that can be a whale that could pierce the steel body of a ship. A whale can damage the wooden part of a ship, but never a steel hull." His argument had logic in it. However, I had my own beliefs. I said to him, "The creature might be living deep inside the ocean, where the pressure of water is great. Therefore, the creature might have developed very powerful bones to face the pressure. If a strong man goes deep inside the ocean, he will be crushed by the pressure of the water. It will appear as if road roller has run over him." "Professor, you have a point in your argument. If you say that such a creature does exist, then its body must be made up of thick steel. However, I cannot believe in the existence of such a creature until I have seen it with my own eyes, Ned argued. If you do not believe in the existence of such a creature, how will you explain the damage that was caused in the Scotia? I asked him. He thought over for some time and then said, Maybe there is a. No, there cannot be such a thing. He did not say anything beyond that. Days passed and the Abraham Lincoln reached the tip of South America and entered the waters of Pacific Ocean. All of us became more vigilant and started looking for the Nawal. We looked for it day and night. We ate our food quite hurriedly and slept for a few hours only. Sometimes we did not sleep at all. Ned, however, did not devote any extra time to look for it. He kept watch for it only when it was his turn. He still did not believe that there was any such creature. Once, when I told him that he should also devote more time in keeping watch for it, he got irritated and said, It is all a made-up story. We are just wasting our time and energy. Even if such a creature exists and moves at a very great speed, we will not be able to find it. 4 months back, it was somewhere in the middle of Pacific Ocean. Do you think it will still be there? It must have moved far away from here. I don't think we will ever come across it. Ned's theory was quite correct. I could not say anything in reply to his supposition. Really, we were wasting our time and energy. But there was nothing else that we could do. We had already spent 3 months exploring the waters of the Pacific. We had chased nothing but whales and other common sea creatures. We had searched the entire ocean between the coasts of Japan and North America, but it was a futile search. We were all fed up and greatly disappointed. We began to think that it was a ridiculous expedition. We had been foolish to believe in such a thing. We all began to long for our homes and demanded the commander to return back. However, the commander was not willing to give up the mission. He wanted that we must search for 3 more days. He promised that he would take us back if we were not able to find the Nawal in 3 days. It was on November 2 that the commander made his promise. We all began to search for the Nawal with a greater zeal. However, we did not get any success. On November 5, the commander ordered that the ship must be reversed back for home. The same evening, Consul and I were standing on the deck. We were looking at the mighty ocean. At the time, we were around 200 miles away from the Japan coast. Some of the crew members were searching for the strange creature. All of a sudden, we heard Ned Land's voice. He exclaimed, Here is the strange monster! Here is the Nawal! We looked at him. He was showing us an object under the sea. The object that he pointed at was oval-shaped and it was emitting out a glow. It appeared as though the creature had been charged with electricity. Suddenly, I noticed that it was moving. First, it went backwards and then forward. Obviously, it was heading towards our ship. Commander Farragut tried to move the ship away from the object. The object moved at a great speed and was about to hit our starboard. Just when it was about 20 feet away from our hull, it stopped and then it vanished out of our sight. A few seconds later, it reappeared. Ned saw it first and said, Look, it is on the port side. We looked at the pointed direction. We could see a glowing object. It was fish-shaped and around 250 feet long. We could see its tail moving with such a great force that the seawater was being turned into foam. We began to fire at the strange creature. Our cannons hit the black body of the strange creature, but they could not damage the creature. They bounced off its body and fell into the sea. Suddenly, I saw Ned with his harpoon. He was holding a pole with one hand and a harpoon in the other. Then Ned threw his harpoon at the object with a great force. As it hit the object, it made a clinking sound. Almost immediately, two big gushes of water were spurted out of the monster. The water flowed over the deck of our warship. Just then there was a terrible collision. I could not hold to anything, and the next moment I was thrown into the cold waters of the mighty ocean. And with this, we come to the end of chapter number 2 and the reading part of day 2. Now let's begin exploring the vocabulary for today. Are you ready? So let's begin the exploration of vocabulary for this lesson. So let's learn the vocabulary. For that, I'll take a pencil and I'll recommend you to do the same. What I'm going to do is I'm going to underline the words, the difficult words. And I'm not going to read the complete story once again. What I'm going to do is I'm going to read the paragraph or few lines with that difficult word in order to save the time. Because then it is going to be a really huge task. You're not reading it yourself. The purpose of read aloud has already been done with reading number 1 that I just did now recently, and you also practiced your listening skills. So you can say in today's lesson, day 2, we have practiced reading, listening, and now we are going to learn vocabulary. Task number 3. So 3 skills altogether. The title of the chapter is The Hunt for Narvel. Now Narvel, I have underlined this word Narvel. It is coming in the whole story a lot. Narvel. What is Narvel? The Narvel is the name given to the monster here in this particular novel, but Narvel means a whale. It is a type of whale which has a tusk at the front, just like elephant has tusk. So a whale that has a tusk is called Narvel. And in this particular novel, this name has been given to this monster. So if you have watched the video number 1, you must have known about it. Okay, now listen carefully. Among the crew members was Ned Land, the best harpooners in the world. Harpooners. Now in this story, they are going on this journey to kill and catch this particular sea monster. So what can be this person, harpooner? Can you guess about it? So the difficult word number 2, harpooner. Harpooner. See, I've underlined the words. If this can catch, the camera is catching it, you will be able to see. Harpooner means a skilled hunter. Somebody who hunts animal, a paid hunter with a big spear. So this was a monster, that's why a hunter with spear, who hunts with a spear. So that person is called a harpooner. Next word, listen carefully, try to understand the context. Why don't you believe that such a creature like Narwhal can exist? You're well acquainted with marine life, and you know that there are large creatures in the seas and oceans. So the word is acquainted. Acquainted. And it means to know something, to already have knowledge about something, an idea about something, acquainted. So the person is saying you're well acquainted with something. To know something very well, or to already have knowledge about something. Next words. Listen carefully. I don't think there can be a whale that could pierce the steel body of a ship. A whale can damage the wooden part of a ship, but never a steel hull. Steel hull. Now there are two words, pierce and hull. Listen once again. I don't think there can be a whale that could pierce the steel body of a ship. Pierce. Now pierce is basically to make a hole in something. So a whale cannot pierce a ship. The person is saying the whale cannot pierce a ship, and I think the argument is correct. So pierce is to make a hole in something. To make a hole in something. And the next word, hull. Steel hull. So hull is basically any outer covering. It is always made of steel when it comes to ship. So the outer front part of the ship, that black part that you always see, that is hull. And hull can be said for anything, any outer covering, outer shell of something, that can be called hull. Next words now. Okay, listen carefully. All of us became more vigilant and started looking for Narvel. We looked for it day and night. The word is vigilant. Vigilant. So vigilant is to be more active, to be really active and to be on a watch and be wide awake. They are saying we all became more vigilant and started looking for Narvel. We looked for it day and night. So vigilant is to look for something actively, to be wide awake, to be constantly on look for something. And I think that's appropriate. We can understand the meaning through the context here. Vigilant. So if you want to describe a person, this can be a perfect word even to describe a person. Next word now. Okay, now here is my favorite word throughout the chapter. This is one of my favorites. I'm gonna read the paragraph now. We were all fed up and greatly disappointed. We began to think that it was a ridiculous expedition. We had been foolish to believe in such a thing. Ridiculous expedition. Two words here together. So ridiculous. Ridiculous has various meanings. It can mean something that is hilarious, something that is comic, but here in this situation, it means foolish, ridiculous expedition, something without any purpose and meaning. It was meaningless, or it was futile, that something is not going to give you some kind of result. Ridiculous. Repeat after me. The pronunciation is important for this word. Ridiculous. Ridiculous. Excellent. Now my favorite word, expedition. Expedition. They are on an expedition in this story. Expedition. So expedition basically means a journey, an adventurous journey, or a journey for a war, or a journey to explore something. So when we say expedition, it means it's full of adventure, it's full of exploration about something. And this is a journey full of exploration, adventure, and also they are in a warship. So expedition, a journey, a long journey. Okay, only few more are left. We all begin to search for the Narvel with a greater zeal. Greater zeal. Now zeal means excitement and enthusiasm for something because you have a purpose. So zeal means a huge amount of excitement. When you want to say that you are really excited, really enthusiastic, but you're not finding good word, use the word zeal. Zealous. To be feeling zealous. To feel zeal. To have zeal about something. Zeal. Okay, next word. Suddenly, I noticed that it was moving. First, it went backward and then forward. Obviously, it was heading towards our ship. Heading towards our ship. So here is the word. Heading towards our ship. Can you understand the meaning? It's so simple. That means moving towards our ship or traveling towards our ship. So heading towards. It's a phrasal verb. It's together, heading towards. So that is to come towards something with a great speed, or to travel towards something with a great speed. Next one. As it hit the object, it made a clinking sound. Clinking sound. Clinking is the sound that is made when you hit the glass. Do you remember as a child? I know you must have done this sometime. You must have taken the spoon and strike the glass, the glass or any utensil that is made up of glass with the spoon to hear the noise, and you must have played music with it with your siblings, cousins, and you must have enjoyed. As a child, we do that. We strike metal objects together in the classroom. You might have done that in order to produce some music and have fun in the class. So that sound which comes when you strike a metal, that is clinking sound. Clinking sound. Now the last word for the day. Now hear it. There are two words related together and we have to understand the meaning together. Almost immediately, two big gushes of water were spurted out by the monster. Gushes of water were spurted out by the monster. Now gushes. So you must have seen the water which flows really quickly in the river. Or if you must have seen water that comes out of an opening during rains, and it comes with sudden force and with lots of noise. That is called gushing of water. And spurt is to come out suddenly. So the water was spurted into big gushes by the monster. That means the water was thrown out with a great flow, with a great force by the monster. So I hope now you've learned some vocabulary too. This is how you can enrich your vocabulary while reading. Now there's a homework for all of you. Today on day 2, you're not going to leave this video without having a homework, and the homework is you need to make a sentence with all the words that we have covered today. And you need to find 3 more difficult words for you. Words that you don't know about. So that's it for today. That was the day 2 of learning English with a book, with reading. Now I'm gonna see you tomorrow for day 3. And day 3 is going to be something brand new. I'm gonna come up with something new on day 3. So see you tomorrow. Till then, take care and bye.